I'm I'm fulfilling my purpose in life, Rabbi, being a microphone tapper.
You gotta be something, you gotta do it.
Hey.
Hey, look at that Torah reader. God bless you. I'm glad you're here today.
We have a small problem.
I doubt it. There's no problem that we can't solve.
When I agreed to do this, which was only a few days ago,
Yeah.
I didn't realize what my week was going to be like.
Yeah.
So I've only had 2 days to look at this, and I can only do 2 out of the 3 verses.
Fine.
So,
No one's going to care about that. 2 is beautiful. 2 is better than none.
well, I
It's
know
all
it's
right.
supposed to be 3 verses
all right.
per aliyah.
Fine.
Do you
Well,
want them want it read in English or something?
No,
or
no. I think we'll
Just
do
do the 2?
Yeah, the 2 is fine.
Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to
But you
check
told
with
me
you.
that. You're very honest, and that's no problem.
You know, I don't even read the tropes. I can't see them.
So you
With the
just
little
memorize
squiggles. I get an audio file from Abby and I memorize it.
Abby is so great.
Abby's taking a new job.
Oh, tell me about it in the short term. What is it?
She's going to be associate rabbi of the largest Reform synagogue in Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee, and let me see.
Well, because she's in Milwaukee with her partner.
Oh, it's a perfect job for her. Is that B'nai Yeshurun?
No, it's Congregation Shalom.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah, Rabbi Shapiro used to be there. Nice congregation.
Yeah, she's...
Associate rabbi is a good deal. How
Yeah.
could she be better than
She's been a
that?
rabbi in 2 different places this year. She's been running a religious school in one place, and she's been
Hey, I heard
rabbi
good news
somewhere
about your
else.
daughter, yeah.
So she's
Well,
had
that's
2 jobs.
Well, she doesn't need 2 jobs, just need 1.
Well, there were 2 part-time jobs.
But the associate next year would be a full-time job.
It's going to be 2/3.
Well, that's
So,
enough. What does she need more than that for?
I think because they're still nesting, her and her partner. They've been together 11 years, but they've only been living together for a year and a half.
She got a great job. We'll have to go to Milwaukee and see her. We'll check it out.
Yep.
I love it. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. How are you today? Mitzvah time. Mitzvah time here. Hope everyone's doing well. Let's go around and say hello to everybody. Now we're starting our service. Start with this fine gentleman who's standing up here. Introduce yourself. Roger. Well, but they may, but gotta remind them who you are. Who's this nice fellow? David, indeed, I think here. How's this fine gentleman?
I'm Marty, and I know everybody here too. I mean, including Rabbi.
All right.
For many, many years.
I do. Who's this wonderful person? You know her. Who's this nice lady here with the colleague? Say your name.
Huh?
Say your name so everybody knows you.
My name?
Yeah.
Now,
I know her.
yeah, he knows my grandpa.
Yeah. Who's next to you?
Yeah.
Molly.
Who just walked in?
Who's that? Ellen? All right, who's this? Julie? Who's this over here? Tim? Arnie. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. We have a minyan today. It's a beautiful Shabbat. We're getting ready for Purim. Getting ready for bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom. Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam. Bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom. Tell us your name. Maddie or Madeline. Good to see Maddie or Madeline. Very good. I hope everyone's doing well today. I'm doing great. Ellen and Roger are very excited because their wonderful daughter Abby, you remember she grew up here, Rabbi. She got a new position in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as the associate rabbi at Temple Shalom there. Very excited about that. And we're happy to see everybody else. Got a lot of great people here. Let's all participate as much as we can. Anything you want to do, let us know. How about another great song at page number 70? Hine ma tov Umanayim Shevet Achim Achayot Gam Yachad. If you have the prayer book, page 70. Bim, oh no, Hine Matov. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Our good friend Arnie is back there. Anybody tuning in today? Yes, Rabbi. All right, let's turn around and wave to our people back there. Shabbat Shalom. We welcome you from afar. The furthest one is how far away? Someone calling in from Israel? Shabbat Shalom. We don't know where they come from, but they're out there. Do you see their names at all, or just that they're here? Pretty amazing guy, isn't it? Huh? All right, doesn't matter. We're doing fine. Let us gather together. Page 74. Matovu ahalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. Matovu ahalecha Yaakov mishkanotecha Yisrael. Let's read together, if you want to, on page 74 in English. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. I, through your abundant love, enter your house. I bow down in awe at your holy temple. Adonai, I love your temple abode, the dwelling place of your glory. I will humbly bow down low before Adonai, my Maker. As for me, may my prayer come to you, Adonai, at a favorable time. O God, in your abundant faithfulness, answer me with your sure deliverance. All right, now we stop, seeing if anybody has any questions they want to ask. Yes, sir.
Chris, looking at the last two sentences there, my prayer come to you, God, at a favorable time. And it seems strange to me that I gotta request that God have a favorable time to hear my prayer. I figured, God, I hope that God's here any time I want to pray to God, and I don't have to ask God's permission to give.
I think it's a favorable time for you, not for God.
Possible.
I can only read the words, Sally, it doesn't say it's a time for me, it's just time for God.
Yeah.
Interpret them any way you like, I hope.
But yeah, that's a good point. Let's say, put it this way, you're saying, is there any time that's a bad time for prayer? There's only good times for prayer, right? Prayer is always good. So, Eit Ratzon, a time of acceptance, we might say, can't assume anything, right? We don't want to assume anything. But we would like to believe that if we pray to God, it's accepted, right? I would like that, believe that too. But we don't want to assume anything. But we want God to also answer. It's a really good question. Every time we read a prayer, we should be aware of the fact that the words are important, and we should always be thinking about what the words mean. If you just say it by rote, that's not a good idea. All right? Prayer for the body. I hope everybody woke up this morning feeling pretty well. The very fact that you're here is probably an indication that you're feeling at least reasonably well. Everybody was able to find their way. So that was pretty amazing right there. But we want to be thankful for all of our parts of our body. So let's read together on page number 76 in English, if you wish. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar, umafli la'asot. And the rofei means the healer. The healer, rofei. He's the one, God is the one who heals. The healer. So the doctor today is called rofei. So yes, my friend David.
So when does God decide not to heal? Who gets ill?
All right.
Who does not get ill?
Well, first of all, you write a very deep question, because we all know that the day will come when we won't be healthy. Could be today, could be tomorrow. And most of the time when we have ailments, we can pray for healing, and 99.7 times out of 100, it's going to work. We're going to get healed. But at the time that it's not, that's the trouble. So we have to recognize that the mortality of the human being, that there's a time for life, there's a time for death. So the prayer is that we are grateful for today, where we are healthy enough to be here and pray. The day will come when we might not be, and the day will come when we will definitely not be here. So it's every prayer can't cover it all. This is a prayer for health, recognizing that the mortality is built into the human condition. Now, some of us are younger, some of us are older. There are no guarantees in life. So, yesterday I was with someone who was right at the precipice of death. I never met him before. Got called into the VA hospital, which is, by the way, if you've ever been to the Veterans Administration Hospital, anywhere, but the one in Seattle particularly, that is an amazing institution. And here was a man I never met. He's ending his life. Wanted to have the rabbi come and pray. So I did, and he didn't die at that moment, but I know that he'll die over the next 2 or 3 days. End of life. So we just said a prayer, Shema, of course, confessional prayer. So I don't know anything about him. He was able to say some words, though. He was very appreciative, and it was just a beautiful time. And being at the VA, one thing I couldn't get into a lot of discussion, but I said, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, because I know that gentleman was a veteran. That's why I was there. So he served us. In what capacity, I'm not sure. But at least I was able to give him a little comfort and give me comfort that I was able to be there. The chaplain called me. She said, I know it's getting closer to Shabbat. Well, not a Jewish chaplain. I said, no, we got a few hours before. I said, you know something? you call me, and I am at my kid's house less than a mile from the VA hospital. Isn't that amazing? So I can go over there. And then I did. So that was, to me, that was a blessing. But we'll all be there someday, right? At that hospital or someplace at the end of life. Remember that great prayer about the soul on page 78? This is great. You know, I don't always remember who the composers were, but I love this melody. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shanatata bi tehorahi, Atavarata, Ata yitzarta, Ata nefakta bi, Vata mishamra bikirbi, Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shanatata bi tehorahi. Now, when you have me leading services, you realize you have a person who's going to sing in a low key, baritone key. That may work for some, it may not work for all. So the prayer leader, range of, whoever's leading could be high, low. Some people like the low, some people like the high. With me, you get the low. All right. So, but as my wife, who's a professional singer, will tell you, if it's too low, you can sing an octave higher. So you can sing an octave higher, right? Let's say the prayer in English. I love this prayer. 78. My God, the soul you have given me is pure. You created it. You shaped it. You breathed it into me. And you protect it within me. For as long as my soul is within me, I offer thanks to you, Adonai, my God, and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. Praised are you, Adonai, in whose hand is every living soul and the breath of humankind. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol b'sar ish. Now, I'll tell you something interesting about this prayer. In our, the Reformed tradition does some editing of the prayers. And in the traditional Siddur, if you're familiar with it, the prayer obviously exists. These are all the early morning prayers. And it has a line, going back to what Dave was saying, says, you created it, you shaped it, you breathed it into me, and you protect it within me. And then it adds, and when the time comes, you take it from me. Now, why did we leave that line out? We should not have left that line out, because that's part of the prayer. When the time comes, you'll take it from me. So we'll have to figure what the editor about that one. Anyhow, so be it. Yes.
Also complete opposition to Catholic belief. They believe you gotta get baptized to get your soul pure, I think.
Well, the pure, right, exactly. Well, I would say it's complex. I would say it's complex. But I like that you bring up a very good point, that the soul is Tahorah He. Pure, the pure soul, right? The pure soul. When the soul enters, it's pure. It doesn't need to be cleansed because it's already pure. And when it leaves your body, it's also pure because death is a purification. So death becomes a purification so that no matter, even if you always do the confessional prayers at the end of life, you ask for forgiveness, but the basic Jewish belief is that when your soul leaves, even if you had not the greatest life, maybe sinful life, it becomes the purification that comes with death. Now, the afterlife is a different issue. We're not going to talk about that, but the soul is pure. So we say Tahora. That's God. And we like to think about that. We're not going to do every prayer, just do some of the prayers. Let's do the prayer for the study of Torah. On page number 86, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asot b'divrei Torah la'asot b'divrei Torah la'asot b'divrei Torah la'asot b'divrei Torah la'asot b'divrei Torah. Let's read in English the two prayers on page 86. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. O Adonai, our God, let the words of Torah be sweet in our mouths and in the mouths of your people Israel, so that we, our descendants and the descendants of all your people Israel, may know you by studying your Torah for its own sake. Blessed are you, Adonai, who teaches Torah to your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah la'amo Yisrael. So that's a great prayer about studying Torah, and the word we say for its own sake, Torah techa lishma, Torah lishma, Torah for its own sake, not for any other purpose, just to study Torah is a blessing. So, this is a little hard prayer to sing because you have to go back and forth from the beginning to the end, but I think we can handle it. Elu Divarim, page 88. You got to go, it's a little chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse. So you got to keep your finger on the prayer and keep going back and forth. Elu Divarim she'ein lahem shi'or. Elu Divarim she'ein lahem shi'or. Elu Divarim she'ein lahem shi'or. Ve'elu hein. Let me stop there. The way before we go there, the way that the composer wrote it, we do the first line and then we skip down to the fifth line. We leave out the second, third, and fourth line. So just want to put that out. Let's do the verses. Kibud avaim uglimud chasadim v'hashkamat beit hamidrash shacharit ve'arvit elu devarim she'ein lahem shi'or elu devarim she'ein lahem shi'or elu devarim she'ein lahem shi'or ve'elu hein ve'haknasat orchim uvikur cholim ve'haknasat kala uvayat hamed ve'iyun tfilah ve'havat shalom bein adam lachavero. Let's keep going. V'talmud Torah kuneged kulam. V'talmud Torah kuneged kulam. V'talmud Torah kuneged kulam. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shi'or. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shi'or. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shi'or. Ve'elu hen. We'll read it in English, and then we'll talk about it for a few minutes, all right? Let's read it in English. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people, but the study of Torah encompasses them all. Beautiful, right? Any comments or questions or concerns about this beautiful passage? All these things you are trying to do whenever you are given the opportunity, obviously not every day, necessarily some every day, some not every day. Yes, question? Morning and evening? And what question? All right. Well, that's a good question. The day begins in the evening, right? And yet, there's certainly some element in Jewish tradition that understand that the morning begins something, because you wake up in the morning. So in it does. There are places where you see the morning and then the evening, and sometimes there was evening and there was morning the first day, like a gray sheet. But I think it says that however we count the day, from a kind of a practical point of view, you get up in the morning. You start off fresh in the morning. And you say your soul is given to you in the morning. So it's a little bit of a good question. It's kind of like both. But morning and evening. So you get up in the morning, start your day. There's no doubt about that. You feel like it's a new day in the morning. But technically, the Jewish day begins in the evening. So you have to have a little bit of both.
The person that wrote this prayer obviously was a morning person.
Yeah, and very important to remember that every prayer was written by a person. It wasn't given from Mount Sinai, at least the prayers weren't. Go ahead, David.
This may not be a fair question, but it's something that I struggle with. What does it mean to honor a father or mother? If there's a person whose father or mother was abusive or sexually, physically, emotionally, drug addict, whatever, how do you honor that father or mother?
You asked a deep question. You want to add to that? You think about it? Forgiveness. Forgiving is hard sometimes if somebody's really being abusive. It's pretty tough, but forgiveness is a good point. Go ahead.
I would say you can sometimes not like the terms at all, but there's still a love because thanks to them, you and you.
Yeah.
I don't understand the hate of terms, but
You could honor them at least for giving you life. And but that's a deep question, because the rabbis certainly talk about that a lot. What do you do if someone is not honorable? And, it's hard. You can't honor someone who's not honorable. So, it's tough. It's a really tough question. And clearly, every person has faults. And you can certainly honor a parent who has faults, but if they're, extreme cases, then I would say the rabbis say you don't have to honor that parent. You don't have to. But your point is well taken. But certainly in terms of just giving you life, there's no question that's a gift. So even in the worst circumstance, someone gave you life is your parent. And that's tough. Hello, how are you doing today? I'm glad you found your way here in the rainy day. Did you find it, was it easy to get here? You made it. Last night we had a little Shabbat, with our family, but we decided to go to Town Hall, which is very close, right down the street, and there's something called the moth. The moth is, I don't know where the word comes from. It's people telling stories about their lives. And you probably get it online. You can get, you don't have to go someplace to hear it. They also publish the stories. What is it? Person gets up there and tells a story for 5 minutes without anything else, not reading, but telling the story from their heart about something that's meaningful in their life. And some of those stories are very moving. So that's why we like to hear what people say. You never know what people are saying. One man got up there and he said, you always want to hear, he was a young man, African-American guy, he said, you always want to hear from your dad, I'm proud of you. That's what you really want to hear from your dad. But I didn't have that opportunity because my dad died before I was born. And then the story went on how he found a surrogate dad who was able to say to him, I'm proud of you. This is a young man who had some challenges in life. He was in jail, but his dad said, I'm proud of you, his surrogate dad. And that's was the story. He was able to hear those words. When he heard those words, it kind of changed his life. So, if you don't have parents, for whatever reason, parents pass on, absent, but maybe find a surrogate parent. And that could be very important. That was a great story about how this guy really was helped by this person who just kind of took him under his wings. Not only did he take him under his wings, but he actually took him into his house. Not officially adopting him, but just come live with me and my family. Changed his life. All right. How do we do it here? Remind me. We do the Reader's Kaddish. Do we stand up or we sit down? What's our tradition here? No Reader's Kaddish? All right, well, we're going to go right from the Reader's Kaddish on page 90 because we have some time issues. We can go right from the Reader's Kaddish to the Baruch Hu. So right from the Reader's Kaddish to the Baruch Hu, the Reader's Kaddish is found on page 106, at least one version of it, and the Baruch Hu is on 108. So let's why don't we rise as a bowl. We always say rise as a bowl. Yit gadal v'yit gadash shemei rabba Yamad nivrach yerutei v'yamlik malchutei v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayedekol Beit Yisrael Bagala uvizman karif v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabba Mevorah Leolam Lo Me'omaya Yit Barak Yishtab Yit Barak Yishtabak Yitpar Yidromam Yitnaseh Yitadar Yitalev Yitalal Shemei Dekudisha Birihu Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tush Birchata V'Nechemata Damiram Yalma Vimru Amen. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed. We can be seated now. Let's read a good, beautiful prayer on page 110, if you want to read. But when I say let us read, that means you can either read it with me, you can just read it silently to yourself. You don't feel any obligation to read. So it's really just say, if you wish, you may read it. And by the way, before we read that prayer, Arnie, how are we doing back there? Some nice people still hanging with us?
Liz is with us and Jermaine is with us.
Wow, I remember Jermaine. I know who Liz is. But tell them both hi. Shabbat Shalom. Jermaine, I'll say about Jermaine. Hi, Jermaine. Last time I was here, he said, I came here many years ago, and I didn't think I would be welcome because I was a black guy, and you just said, "Come on in and make yourself at home." And I said, I don't really remember that, but I'm glad I was welcoming to you. And he's still with us. You know Jermaine? Do you ever run into him? He's a nice guy. All right.
He wishes you a Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, we wish you Shabbat Shalom in the chat. Thank you, Jermaine. All right. Always welcome. All right, let's read the prayer on page number 110, if you wish. Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign universe, creator of light and darkness, who makes peace and fashions all things. In mercy you illumine the world and those who live upon it. In your goodness you daily renew creation. How numerous are your works, Adonai. In wisdom you form them all, filling the earth with your creatures. Be praised, Adonai our God, for the excellent work of your hands, and for the light you created. May they glorify you. Shine a new light upon Zion, that we may all swiftly merit its radiance. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of all heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer Ha'orot. Yeah, that's a good point. And it's a good point. Borei Yom V'Laila, or V'Choshen. So maybe it's kind of a logical thing that light comes before darkness. And it's a really interesting thing. We have to think about that a little bit. And then, you know, there was a time in our Reformed tradition, we've always had this prayer, the prayer after the Baruch Hu in the morning. But the line, shine a new light upon Zion, that we all may swiftly merit its radiance. That was not in the old Union Prayer Book because of the idea of Zion. Because Reformed Judaism was kind of neutral about the idea of a Jewish state and about Zion. So they took that thing, Zion, and they put it back in. I like it. And I think now today is very relevant. Or Chadash al Sion Ta'ir. May a new light, shine a new light on Zion. Whatever that exactly means, but certainly we're always thinking about Israel, challenging times, and having a new light on Zion does have even more relevance in our day and age. We have to, think about that. And the radiance. So, Yotzer Ha'orot, creator of the heavenly lights. Let's talk about we like to do sometimes the prayer on the left side of the page. The prayer on the right side of the page is a traditional prayer, or more or less a traditional prayer. And the ones on the left side of the page, I think you all probably understand, are modern reimagining of the same theme in a different way. So usually there's two of them. So the Hatimah is the same for all three. So on page number 112 and 113, it's a prayer about God, relationship with the Jewish people, complex thing, Ahava Rabbah. You loved us, given us Torah, but let us read the one in the middle of page 113, the reimagining of this prayer by some writer. And I remind you, maybe some of the new people, probably been only here about for 7 or 8 years, are new people, but you might not realize that the new prayers are all attributed to the author in the back of the book. If you want us to know who the author was of these new prayers, some of whom you may know, some of you don't know, but yeah, go ahead.
The one on the top of page 113 was written by Rabbi Norman Hirsch.
I like that.
I married my wife to me 65 years ago. That's the name of it.
At Beth Am. Beth Am. Beth Am was great. That must have been a great day for you, wasn't it? Do you remember it still pretty well? Were you in uniform at that time?
No, I got out of the Navy, but
So you
I
just,
had a sword, cut people, my sword. And what I remember about deep minor reception was I could not remember people's names that I had known for decades.
well,
That's what I remember.
but you're the groom. You're not responsible for saying that. You just say, all you have to just say, thank you, right? Well, you're always a polite fellow. Thank God. Well, going strong. I got to go visit him over there at the Horizon House. Go take a walk down there maybe this week. Say hello to Rabbi Hirsch. How he's doing, Peggy? So let's honor Rabbi Hirsch by reading the one at the top of the page, all right? He's very up there. I think he's maybe 93 years old. I'm trying to remember the exact age, but he's up there, thank God. Let's read it together. 113. Lech lecha, go forth. God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael bi'ahava. Let's remain seated. I guess that's our tradition now for the Shema, unless you really must stand up. Page 114. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. Shalom. How are you today? You have your prayer book? Good. I want to make sure you're there with us. Love having you here. You got your prayer book, right? How about chanting V'ahavta, at least part of it on page 116. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol avavcha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elem asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am v'shiftecha b'veitecha uv'letecha v'aderech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam leot ayadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uv'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha Laman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai yitem kedoshim lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. What's that noise? The rain? Oh, I don't know. That's good. Well, good that it's raining. That's healthy. Let's read the top of page number 117. The short prayer. When justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives and we can begin to change the world, and then you live in our hearts and we through righteousness behold your presence. Love that. All right, we're going to move on because, like I say, we kind of keep moving along in this prayer book. We're going to go to the Torah service now, if you don't mind. The reading of the Torah. Today we're going to read Torah. We have two great Torah readers. We have great people participating, I hope, if you wish to. We'll march with the Torah. And we'll talk about the Torah maybe a little bit, not too much, but we will talk about it. And we'll do the blessing for healing. Let's start on page 244. And, it's interesting. This one says, your ark is open, remove the Torah. So we'll just do that. Let's all rise as able before the open ark, which I will open. I love the Torah here. Looks like this is our beautiful Torah. Oh my gosh, what a Torah. This is my favorite Torah. Do we have a yard someplace? All right. On page 244. Ein kamocha ve'elohim Adonai ve'en kamasecha malchutaka malchut kol olamim umemshaltaka ledor v'ador. Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimlok leolam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitein Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom avarachamim heitiv avirsonecha et Sion tivneh chomot Yerushalayim tivneh chomot Yerushalayim ki vecha levad batachnu Melech Elram v'nisa Adon Olami. Turn the page. Ki mitzion teisei Torah. Ki mitzion teisei Torah. Udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Turn the page. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan, Torah, Torah, Lamo Yisrael, Bigadushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadlul Adonai iti, Udaromama, Shamo Yagda. You guys sing loud while I walk. Shlosha Devarim Ha'olam Omeid Al HaTorah Al HaAvodah Al Gemilut Hasadim Al HaTorah Al HaAvodah Al Gemilut Hasadim. Sit down and make yourself at home. Well, we have the beginning of the third book of the Torah, Vayikra, also known as Leviticus. Does anybody want to give out the Torah books? It's up to you guys. If you want to do it, to follow along, we will be reading with Molly and Ellen We'll be reading from the 5th chapter of the book of Leviticus Vayikra. If anybody can find that page, let us know what page it is on. Leviticus, say it loudly. 670. 670. I can speak loudly over that rain. That rain is not going to stop me. But it's pretty loud rain. But we're going to listen to the Torah being read today. We have Marty or Martin Seelig up here to be our first Aliyah. We say Ya'amod Rishon, the first reader, the first blesser, Marty, the first reader, Molly. Here's the blessing, my good friend, if you want it. You want that one? Let's look at the Torah, make sure in the right spot. I'm rolling it open because you have to find it, right, dear friend? You found it. Is that where it is? All right, now we can take this off because there it is.
She's gonna need to.
She'll find it. She'll find it. She had no problem finding it. All right. Let's do the blessing for the Torah.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'nefesh ki techata v'shama'a kol Allah v'hu eid o ra'a o yada im lo yagid v'nasa avono o nefesh asher tiga b'kol davar tameh o v'nivlat haya tameh benivlat bahema temea o benivlat sheretz tameh ve'alam mimenu ve'hu tameh ve'ashem o ki yiga betumat adam lakol temuato asher yitma bo ye'ne'alam mimenu v'hu yada ve'ashem.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Let's also say Yashikoach, this fine gentleman who read the Torah, and his beautiful lady. Stay up here with us. Don't go away. Don't go away. How many of you had a chance to be with Marty when he had his bar mitzvah? How long ago was that, his second bar mitzvah? When was that? A few months ago.
Last June 3rd.
Okay. That was a great day. Now we have Ellen, and of course we have Roger, her wonderful husband, come up with her, of course. Ya'amo Sheni. Now Roger Phelps, very important part of our world. So, Roger, come on over here, sir. Ellen's going to show you where the Torah portion is. Give me the word, oh, nefesh.
Where is it?
Hold on, don't.
Okay.
Where was it? Where was that thing? Wasn't it here?
No.
Yeah, go this one, yeah. Wasn't it here?
Yeah.
Where?
All right. O Nefesh.
Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here, okay.
See, that's a pretty good word. It's interesting, it starts with O. All right, so let's touch that.
I did.
Good, bless you. Let's close this down. Good, sir.
I need the cheat sheet.
Right
It's
there.
right, it's that
Can
right
you see
there.
it? Too low? You want a big sheet, teacher?
That would be nice.
It's in this drawer.
Oh.
Right there.
Love it, love that. There you go.
If I put on the right
No.
glasses, I just
No.
need something I can read.
Yeah, I love that. We're right there with you, buddy.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarak.
Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher Baharbanu Mikol Ha'amim. V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Okay, where are we again? Is the middle one here?
Oh. Oh, Kiyaga. You see where it is here? Remember that? Is it here? Oh, that it? Or
Well, this is it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
O Nefesh?
Amen. O nefesh, ki tishava
Levate.
levate levate bisvatayim lehara. Oh, lehetiv lechol asher yivatei ha'adam bishvuah v'ne'elah mimenu v'hu yada yada ve'ashem le'achat me'ele ve'haya ki yesham le'achat me'ele v'hitvadah asher chataha aleha.
Beautiful. What up?
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet. V'chayei Olam Natan B'tohenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Yashakoach. These are great people. Thank you so much for being here today. And I'll call somebody up soon to lift the Torah, but not right now. I'm going to call Julie up to lead us in the Mishaberach prayer. A Mishaberach prayer for all of our people who are ill. Come on up. Don't be shy. And people that we're mentioning today, these are people who are ill, need of healing, and we can add other people to it. Azrael Early, Rohan Early, Amy Thornton, Stacy Hetzel, Jacqueline Tara Smith, Deborah Rose, Eileen Kriesman, Ronnie Haber, Vadim Barzam, Ellen Gottlieb, Vanessa Bianco, Paul McCready, Janelle Cohn, Glenn Letts, Jesse Early, Andrea Gurvich, Carl Wilhite, Ginny Gaston, Cindy Balin, Patty Newby, Barbara Laird, Marion Laird, Michelle Arrigo, Joni Michaels, Joe Giordano, Shelley Morgenstern, Roberta Carmel, Brian Ward, Joshua Kornblue, Samuel Navarro Ibarra, Bob Howells, Colin Weiss, Joe Dover, Janice Kaplan Klein, Barbara Esselstein, Stan Habib, Christina Marie Lindsay, Janine Morris. And now it's time to add other names.
And Watson.
Bill Leathers and Marcel Burns.
Let's sing the Misha Bayrock prayer. Do you know what page it's on? 371? You know where it is, Julie?
No,
Well, look at the prayer book.
I don't. I want to add the name of Noach ben Shoshana for a Misha Berach prayer. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Beautiful. Thanks. What we are going to do now is recognize that this Shabbat is also, in addition to be Vayikra, the first reading of the book of Leviticus, because it's the Shabbat directly prior to Purim, which begins tonight. And I'm not sure, maybe Molly can tell me, are we celebrating at B'nai Torah tonight or tomorrow? What time? 4 o'clock. Are you going to be there? Who knows? There'll be some special. And what are some of the special things you're going to do at 4 o'clock? Spiel and dinner, Suda. And who's going to be in the spiel? Somebody. All right. All right. Well, celebrate Purim. But the Shabbat directly prior to Purim, which is this Shabbat, it's called Shabbat Zachor, and we read a special portion of the Torah, not the portion, not the weekly portion, but an additional portion known as the Maftir. There are 5 Shabbat between Adar and Nisan leading up to Pesach that are special readings, and this is one of them. And it's such a relevant portion, and also a special Haftarah as well from the book of Shemuel. But I'll just read it to you to be aware of Shabbat Zachor. Deuteronomy chapter 25, verse 17 through 19. And it talks about a historical event in the history of the Jewish people in the desert. Remember what Amalek did to you on the road on your way out of Egypt, that he encountered you on the way and cut off those lagging to your rear when you were tired and exhausted and did not fear Hashem, God. And it shall come to pass, when Adonai your God has given you rest from all your enemies round about, in the land which Adonai your God is giving you for an inheritance to possess it, that you shall obliterate the memory of Amalek from under heaven. Do not forget. Lo tishchak. Now that's a complicated portion. And why do we read it right before Purim? What does it evoke? What are the evocative elements of this Torah portion? Go ahead.
Well, because Purim is a time when we were threatened.
Yes. We were in a similar way threatened during the holiday of Purim, many centuries later. So it's evocative of that reality, right? And then also when you have defeated your enemies or given rest from your enemies. But then, how about Amalek? Is there any connection between Amalek and the Purim story? Because Amalek was one of many enemies, right, that we've encountered along the way. But according to the rabbis, not found in the book of Esther, and not found anywhere else, but in the rabbinic tradition, that Haman was a descendant of Amalek. So just as the original Amalek, or the Amalekites perhaps, tried to defeat the Israelites in the desert, that Haman, their descendant, also tried to do it, but did not succeed. And the idea of obliterating the memory of Amalek, according to some, not all, authorities, is partially why when the name of Haman is read at the Megillah reading, which will be tonight, I guess, and tomorrow, we try to obliterate the mention of the name of Haman through the making of noise. So it's a pretty interesting portion, Amalek. And then, of course, no one could read that without having some sense of the complex parallels of our modern day world, of Amalek being perhaps comparable to the Hamas, right? I mean, you can't help but think that whatever the realities are, it's a complex world we live in. But the idea that the portion is that when you have defeated your enemy, then it doesn't say you should rejoice. It says to blot out the memory of Amalek. So, such a complex thing. Very complex. So, without further ado, we're going to take the Torah, raise the Torah, dress the Torah. Maybe David and Diane, you can help us with that. That would be a challenging thing to do. I'll raise the Torah, but you have to dress the Torah. On page number 252, we're going to rise, and then we're going to put away the Torah directly afterwards. We're on to page 256. So rise, and let us try to address the Torah and say, Bezot HaTorah. Bezot HaTorah asher sa Moshe livnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai v'yad Moshe. You do the dressing, your husband hold it. Let's see how we can do it. Let's just remain standing, all right? Let's see how well we can do this. You want to try this? We'll do it together. We'll be a team.
It's the very first time.
All right, now there you go. Now the hard part. Putting the cover on the Torah. By the way, such a beautiful Torah cover. What was the story? Did you make that?
No, I did not make it. I ordered it. It's a flyer, it's a plane. It says a core on the bottom.
Wow. I love that. Zachor. Isn't that interesting? Perfect for the Shabbat. Zachor. Remembering. Remembrance. We'll remember a lot of different things. All right, that's great. Now, don't get up yet, sir, because we want you to be resting up a little bit. We're on page number 256. Let's sing. Eitz Chaim Hi Lamachazim Ba V'tomachecha Meushar V'rachecha Darkei Noam V'chol Netivotecha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha V'nashuva Adesh Adesh Amenu Adesh Amenu Remain standing. You go back to your places. Appreciate the doing that mitzvah. Let's go and find the Aleinu. What page is that going to be on? 280, 283. Let's remain there. And I think the one that we do is on page 283. Is that the one we usually do? Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol לתת גדילה יוצא בראשית שלא שם חלקנו יכד את שמו וגאור עלינו להמליך מלכותו ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו Let's be seated for a few moments. Hey. In a moment I'm going to read some of the names of people that we're remembering today. I'm going to read those names. Quite a few. But before we do, I have to ask Molly a question. I love that Torah cover. But when you ordered it with the word Zachor, what was your motivation when you ordered that Torah cover?
Well, because the Torah, which you, when you brought it in here, you're the one who blessed it.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's the Sofer said, thought it was like 100 years old, and it was from somewhere in Russia.
You're saying that Torah, that actual Torah,
Yeah, it was one that was made, but never used. So it didn't have the dates on it. So when
it was just a scroll.
yeah, it's just a scroll, because it wanted it to be like the one from the Jewish day school that would be light, so it's.
Relatively speaking, yeah, it is.
But what happened, they shipped it out, they didn't really pack it, and the eights broke. So when we sent it back, they made it heavier, like
Heavier wood. So it's not a big scroll, but it's not a super little scroll either. Remember, we used to have the class Torah, the class / what was the other name of family that you were part of? Your family, right?
It was actually Grommet family.
Grommet. And that little Torah was a small Torah. Well, we'll get into that story later on, but just remind us where that Torah resides right now.
That Torah was the same size as the one that Rabbi Singer is shown holding on a painting of him. It's getting right between the Torah
all right.
and the plain
Well, remember, I'm not going to get into the details there, but of the painting, to me, it looked like a pretty big Torah. We don't know what Torah it was. It might have been one of those Torahs. I think it is. But that was taken from a photograph. I'm not going to get that story. But I'm going to get the story now about your Torah. Graumic Torah. Where is it located now?
It is now with Rabbi Dusty, our daughter.
Yeah, but she's back here now.
She keeps it with her. She does not have a pulpit right now, but she keeps it with her in her home.
All right.
Which is in Seattle.
All right.
Close to.
I know where it is. All right. All right. I'm going to say one thing to you. This is just a request. Your wonderful daughter. I'm not going to do it. But if you would say, Dusty, Rabbi Dusty, or daughter, now you're in Seattle, and I come to B'nai Torah and many other synagogues, because he goes to many synagogues. But would it not be nice to put that Torah back in our ark temporarily, not gift, while she's here, if she wants to? It's you, your brother, sister, but it'd be nice to have it in the ark here. I'll leave that up to you. I'm not saying you should do it, but it would be nice to have it here for a while, because, first of all, it is small.
I will approach her.
You can approach her.
But it's entirely up to her. It's her possession.
All right, you say you and your brother made that decision, going to go to her. So it would be her decision. But you're willing to ask her that. And say, if you put it in our own, it's just a loan, it's temporary. At any time you want to take it out, you can take it out. But it would be nice to have it here at B'nai Torah. And since she's a alum of B'nai Torah, she's certainly more welcome to be here anytime. But if you want to take it out to do a bar mitzvah or whatever, she'd always have that option. So you'll talk to her. Now I'll get back to the other question. Thanks, Tim. When you chose the cover, and you made that choice, it had nothing to do with me, right? It's a beautiful cover. Isn't that a beautiful cover? And this was one that was on, not Amazon, but it was someplace that you ordered it from, right?
Judaica store in New York.
All right. So I'm going to ask you a very direct question. Why did you choose one that had the word Zachor on it?
To remember our family.
Aha, I like that. I like to remember your family.
And also the flame is also reminiscent of like Holocaust.
Remembering of the Shoah. So a little bit of both your family and the Shoah.
Yeah.
And it seems like these are little, in a way, they're candles. Really beautiful, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. 6 candles, so I think you're right that maybe it's the 6 million. That's my impression. So that's my impression, that the actual cover was made as a memorial to the Holocaust. And Zachor, right? That's a pretty amazing thing there, it's a beautiful thing. So always remember. And then at the end of the portion of Zachor it says, Lo Tishach, don't forget. Don't forget. So I like that. So thank you for that gift. Tim, thank you for having your family Torah with us for many years. I don't know how many years was in our ark. Many years. So maybe we'll come back. We don't know. All right. Before we close our service, we want to remember some beautiful people. And certainly today I see several people that you would recognize. But recently, the last 30 days, Shloshim, last 30 days, Wendy Lieberman, who was a staff member at the JDS, I don't know if you don't remember her, and she was not a member of our congregation, but she was memorialized here. Henrietta Winkler Nemitov Dalke, the mother of Rabbi Nemitov. Alan Peace, the congregant, husband of Roberta Peace, who died fairly recently, wonderful guy, and Gary Scott Kinner, the brother of Karen Rosenberg, a member of our congregation. So in terms of a member of our congregation, Alan is the one, but the other three recently died. Yard sites, and if you want to rise and hear the name of a loved one, you can do so. Sidney Adler, Ted Altschul, Rachel Ballure, or Rahel Ballure, William Block, Molly Brown, Harold Carlin, Sidney H. Cohn, Marjorie Coombs, Gloria Charlene Courage, Sharon Sharon Deshi, Sarah Dugason, Shirley Adelson, Manny Falk, Audrey Pearl Feldman, Rosalie Gersh, Selma Gordon, William Gordon, Laurel M. Jones, Marvin Class, Kathleen Marber, Alexander Marber, Zalman Newmark, Jerome Schiffman, Israel Stern, and Robert Vasson. And Tim, I think that you're rising in memory of your dad. Is that correct? How many years ago did he leave this world? How long ago was that? Many years ago? Many years? Yeah. Well, our heart is with you. Let's all rise to support Tim and to support everybody, our members of our congregation. I say particularly Alan Peace, our fellow member. The Kaddish is found on page number 294. Those who wish to recite the Kaddish, please recite it. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah, V'yalma Divira, Kirute, V'yamlik Malchute, V'chayechon, V'yomechon, V'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'galav V'zman Kariv V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarak, L'olam Omei Omayah, Yit Barak, V'yishtabach, V'yit Pa'ar, V'yit Romam, V'yit Naseh, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shemei D'chutsha Berichu, Le'elam in Kol Berchata, V'shirata, Tush B'chata, V'nechamata, Damiram B'yalma, V'imru, Amen, Yehei Shalom Arabah Min Shemaya, V'chayim, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen, Oseh Shalom B'mramav, Uyaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yal Kol Yisrael, Ve'imru, Amen. God, source of peace, send peace to all who are mourning and all who are remembering, whether they are here or anywhere else on earth, and let us say, Amen. Let us do the blessing for the morning, page number 300. Page 300 in the Siddur. And of course, I hope you'll stay around for our wonderful luncheon. Come back at 4 o'clock for the Sturmspiel. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat, L'dorotam berit olam, al kain berak Adonai et yom ha-Shabbat vayikachehu. Therefore God blessed the seventh day and called it holy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen l'chaim. Good, thank you. And now, begin our wonderful celebration. We always want to thank, of course, Nestor for doing it each week. I don't know how he does it, but he does. Arnie, thank you. Let's turn around and say Shabbat Shalom to Arnie and the other people on the Zoom world, however they are doing it. When you leave, if you take your prayer books and the Torah books and put them back, it'd be great. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Amen. V'te'avon. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Nice people here.